Greetings, people of the interwebs. Jake here. So I've been a bit more active here on the channel the last few days. Had some thoughts on some recent uh, Middle Earth news. Um, but I don't know. Like earlier today, I was kind of thinking about the teaser for Rings of Power season 2, and was wondering, and I'll propose the idea to you listeners or viewers here. Um, I guess I was entertaining the notion that if season 2 of Rings of Power is actually good, which I don't think it will be, at best I think it might be better than season 1, maybe. But that's a very low bar, so easily achievable. But I was still just kind of again entertaining the notion that what if season 2 is actually good though? Like what if they actually took the feedback that a lot of fans and critics gave them, and reworked some things and tried to actually tell a story that made sense to the actual lore instead of season one's stupidity that was more of a fanfic than anything else. But um, hypothetically, so again, we'll say that season two somehow manages to be good. Um, but my question, though, and the thing that I was wondering is, so even if season two manages to be good, because if you just look at like the teaser trailer and like the like to dislike ratio, like last I checked, it was like 70. It was like 70,000 upvotes compared to like 300,000, or getting close to 300,000 downvotes or something along those lines. And it's probably changed a little bit over the last few days, because it's probably been about going on a week now, or close to a week since that teaser was dropped. Um, so just based on that teaser, clearly a lot of people are rightfully or wrongfully going into this show kind of expecting to hate it. Admittedly, I am too, but I would love nothing more than to be pleasantly surprised and the show to be great. But again, I feel like just based off the kind of very lackluster perception or reception of season one, and then what seems like the absolute disdain for the season two teaser, I feel like even if season two actually is good, it's probably not going to be enough. But I guess that's kind of the thing that I've been wondering is like, would it be enough to win over the people like me who didn't like season one, and possibly more importantly, would it be enough to win over the people who just absolutely hated season one and who are going into this season two, basically essentially gonna hate watch it. So that way they can comment online and post the reviews of how garbage it is and all that stuff. But that was kind of the thing that I've been wondering, and it's not just Rings of Power. Like it's something I've kind of been wondering too with a lot of these other big franchises and IPs like Marvel, Star Wars, because a lot of these big franchises are gradually going downhill or have been going downhill for the last few years. And again, it kind of makes me think like what would it take for these big IPs, whether it be Amazon's Rings of Power, Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, to bring back a lot of the fans. Which part of that, to me, I think one of the solutions is just to actually tell good stories and have good writers. Because that's been one of my biggest problems with the last series of Marvel movies, shows, and same thing with Star Wars, with a few exceptions of Andor, which was incredible, like amazing. One of the best written Star Wars things any one of the best written anything Star Wars related. Same with Rogue One was great. But everything else has been not so good. And then, of course, I don't remember the last, Guardians 3. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was probably the last Marvel project that I, movie or show that I watched and thoroughly enjoyed all the way through. But I still wonder, though, what would it take outside of, again, we'll say that they do start hiring, very competent writers who know what they're doing. They understand the lore. They understand the characters. So we'll say that they do hire all these writers to start rewriting some of these scripts. Would it be enough though to essentially salvage these these dying franchises. And again, I would love nothing more than for this to happen because I've grown up my entire life as a Star Wars fan, Marvel fan. And of course, when the Lord of the Rings movies came out, I became obsessed with those movies, and still am to this day. I rewatch the extended cut movies every single year. And the Silmarillion is my all-time favorite. Yeah, probably my all-time favorite book of just, of all-time favorite book. Not just in Tolkien, but probably my all-time favorite just work of literature that I've read, especially in the fantasy genre. So I would love nothing more than for my favorite franchises to essentially be great, be what they once were, like the Star Wars original trilogy, those first three phases of Marvel, and I would absolutely love any future Tolkien Middle-earth content, whether it be from Amazon or Warner Brothers, to be on the same level as that Lord of the Rings original trilogy. Granted, I feel like even best case scenario, even if we do get really good Middle-earth content, I don't think anything's ever going to top that, the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I don't think we'll ever see anything like that ever again, unfortunately. But, I don't know, just kind of decided, since I've been active, might as well, I don't know, do an impromptu recording. And I might try and, actually be more active on this channel. I've been saying that for a long time, and only now have I started to be more active. And I don't know, depending on what my work schedule is like, starting a new job soon, so depending on how that works out, I may actually be more active on here. I don't know, we'll see, but those are just my thoughts that I was kind of thinking over earlier today. Again, more specifically with Rings of Power Season 2, but also, it's something I've been wondering too with like Marvel and Star Wars as well. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Do you think there is still hope for Rings of Power Season 2 or Marvel, Star Wars, or some of these other franchises that are kind of dead or dying? So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and until next everyone, cheers.